a song called "Safe and Sound," which he did mention you on that song.
Now in 1988, I moved away to LA. My homies Playa Hamm and Gina gave me a place to stay.
Talk to me about when Quik stayed with you and what he meant in that line.
To pull my own weight, I went and got me a job. But by then, Hamm and Gina really started to squab.
But he stayed with me like from 88 through like 90, give or take. You know, back and forth. It was like, you know, he'll stay with me for an extended period, and then he might go chill with his sister or something for a minute or two. But
how can I be damned? I asked my sister Jack for some help, and she told me look around.
For the main thing, once we decided we was gonna get down together, then, you know, I was married at the time, and I had my two sons, Deuce Mack and Big Joe West. They was little boys though then.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Whereabouts did you grow up?
Oh man, South Central Los Angeles.
Okay.
Born and raised.
What neighborhoods are we talking?
Grew up. Started off like the edge of Watts near 103rd and Main, and then from there we moved to the west side off of King Boulevard and Wilton Place.
Okay. All right.
Browning Boulevard, you know, as probably a few more people might know, you know, Browning over there where your boy used to talk about, you know?
2001 Browning, clowning.
You know what I'm saying?
So 80s was popping, as you know. I'm 42, so I lived it myself. 80s was when gang warfare was at an all-time high. Crack cocaine hit the city. Tell me what you remember specifically about the 80s.
Man, well, you know, I was fresh out of high school in 81, and I do have a recollection of when crack hit, even when it went from cocaine to crack, you know what I'm saying? Because from time to time, you know, one would indulge, you know, and if you was using, you could recognize the difference, man, but it probably creeped up on you in a real, you know, negative way. If you, was dealing with cocaine and then you started dealing with crack, not knowing that they had put a twist down on whatever you was using, you know, and the addiction, the desire, all the ways you get down changed. You know what I'm saying? I could say it like this, homie, from a cat that been there. When it was cocaine, you wanted to share, but by the time you woke up and realized you was on crack, you didn't want to share no more. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was. It pretty much destroyed our neighborhood, man, and led to some great music. Also, I know that's kind of a weird segue, but it kind of led to gangster rap, which I guess some would classify you as, or would reality rap, whatever the case is. But talk to me about when you started, you know, getting into music and rapping.
Well, I started off the music in junior high and in high school because I was in the band, right? And in elementary school, you know, I was attracted to poetry. So I remember being, you know, first, second, third grade and being in the English class, or the English aspects of the classroom, depending on before we was changing, you know, from room to room. But, you know, I liked writing poetry at a young age, man. So I kind of studied it through, you know, different ways the teachers was teaching us, and I excelled at it even at a young age, man. I remember writing certain poetry and having some of the strongest poetry in my class, you know? And by the time I got to high school and I was in the band, I went to high school at Locke, and from Bret Hart Junior High to Locke High School, you know, Locke was one of the elite bands in the city. And so when we moved to the west side, I was going to go to Crenshaw High, but when I went and checked their band out, it wasn't up to par. I was in the 10th grade. And so the foundation was music. And when I graduated from high school, you know, you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. There's a lot of negative and a lot of positive out there. I wasn't really going to college. I took a few classes, jazz appreciation or whatever, when I had to, in order to keep working because I was a TA. But shit, man, I just put it together, the poetry with the music background, and decided I wanted to pursue it. And that's kind of basically a microwave story of how I got involved in rap. I just put my poetry, started trying to put it to music, and it started off kind of weak. you know, as far as the rap skills was concerned, you know, as far as my recollection and anybody that might could tell you that was there. But shit, you know, it was something I really wanted to do with my writing skills. They was up to par. It was just getting the rap part together, you know?
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about when you started, you know, getting into music and rapping.
Well, I started off in music in junior high and high school because I was in the band, right? And in elementary school, you know, I was attracted to poetry. So I remember being, you know, first, second, third grade and being in the English class or the English aspects of the classroom, depending on before we was changing, you know, from room to room. But, you know, I liked writing poetry at a young age, man. So I kind of studied it through, you know, different ways the teachers was teaching us, and I excelled at it even at a young age, man. I remember writing certain poetry and having some of the strongest poetry in my class, you know? And by the time I got to high school and I was in the band, I went to high school at Locke, and from Bret Hart Junior High to Locke High School, you know, Locke was one of the elite bands in the city. And so when we moved to the west side, I was going to go to Crenshaw High, but when I went and checked their band out, it wasn't up to par. I was in the 10th grade. And so the foundation was music. And when I graduated from high school, you know, you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. There's a lot of negative and a lot of positive out there. I wasn't really going to college. I took a few classes, jazz appreciation or whatever when I had to, in order to keep working because I was a TA. But shit, man, I just put it together, the poetry with the music background, and decided I wanted to pursue it. And that's kind of basically a microwave story of how I got involved in rap. I just put my poetry, started trying to put it to music, and it started off kind of weak, you know, as far as the rap skills was concerned, you know, as far as my recollection and anybody that might could tell you that was there. But shit, you know, it was something I really wanted to do with my writing skills. They was up to par. It was just getting the rap part together, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
When did you end up linking up with DJ Quik?
Well, Quik came to the table, I want to say around 1988. You know, back in the day, you know, they had those the party lines.
Oh yeah, 976.
You know, 976, exactly. And so we had a penthouse party line, me and Tweed Cadillac.
Oh, okay.
One of the homies, Emperor Al, my recollection is he had plugged us in, and we already had the penthouse players click going. And so when he got action at getting behind a party line, we did a commercial for him, and it was called the Penthouse Party Line. So we had a little commercial or two on K-Day and shit. And Quik's sister, one night when Tweed was on the phone, Quik's sister called in, and I guess him and her was talking, and she told him about her brother, and Tweed actually hooked up with him on some music first. You know, it's like he talked to him and told him whatever he had to tell him, and Quik shot him a beat. And when he got the beat from Quik, he let me hear the beat. And when I heard the beat, I'm like, where'd that come from? And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, okay, what's up with that? And then he was saying, well, I think, you know, the young cat, you know, might want to do something with us, man. He shot me this to kind of like audition. I'm like, well, we need to holler at him, man. He might be the missing piece, you know? So one thing led to another. From that, a nigga went and grabbed him, gave him another little assignment or whatever, not necessarily in that exact order, but when he came back with the next one, it was like, oh yeah, this is it. So we talked about it, and, you know, it was a long time ago, but, you know, one thing just led to another from cats just hanging out and trying to come together and collaborate, you know?
Yeah. Now, was this before the red tape or after the red tape?
Oh, this was long before the red tape, homie. The red tape came after he had
Was it
basically
oh,
left.
okay.
You know, because Quik, and when they was doing certain types of music with that gang banging and shit on me, I wasn't really with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the second and nine thing, when they started coming to the penthouse, you know, it was like Quik wasn't really trying to fuck with them at first. And when I heard something there, I went to the Compton swap meet and did some old mixtapes, some old pause button shit that they did, and it had great potential. I was like, you need to fuck with your boys, you know? And so I guess when they started fucking with Greedy Greg now and doing things over there, is when they was, you know, doing that little gangbang music on me. But I wasn't having no gangbang music coming up out of my little section, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked that shit, but, you know, as far as that was concerned, because, you know, for Penthouse Players Clique, it was a way to not have to gangbang. Even though I was around thugs, criminals, hustlers, gangbangers, you know, them was my niggas, but that wasn't me.
Did you ever get any residuals or any issues with anyone when he was beefing with MC Eiht, just being down with him?
Oh, no, I never had any of those problems, bro.
Yeah.
That's never been an issue for me.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what the red tape is, it was Banging on Wax before Banging on Wax was even Banging on Wax. He was probably one of the first, if not the first, to yell out his set and things on a record. And what he did was he ended up dissing MC Eiht, but it was kind of like not even a real diss from what I understand. And yeah, that just ignited some shit in the street, right? A song called Safe and Sound, which he did mention you on that song. He says, you know, I had to pull my own weight, went to get a job, but by then Ham and Gina really started the squab about whether I should go or stay. She told him either he goes or you go. We both was on our way. Talk to me about when Quik stayed with you and what he meant in that line.
Well, that was after he had got his deal, right? And, you know, he stayed with me. That song was after he got his deal. But he stayed with me like from 88 through like 90, give or take. You know, back and forth. It was like, you know, he'll stay with me for an extended period, and then he might go chill with his sister or something for a minute or two. But for the main thing, once we decided we was going to get down together, then, you know, I was married at the time, and I had my two sons, Through Smack and Big Joe West. They was little boys though then.
Young heavyweights.
And yeah, they doing their thing, man. We making some moves. But so we was staying with us then, and we was building and growing. You know, we had a couple of situations with a couple of record deals. You know, because once Quik came to the table, then the Penthouse Players Clique was complete. You know, and so we started making music. We got an SD 1200. And grabbed the Techniques 1200 turntable, and, you know, a pyramid mixer, and all the things that we needed to make records. And Quik, you know, he was a prodigy. He was laying golden eggs, man. He really wanted that, you know. And while we was chilling and, you know, doing the things we was doing, you know, Quik was putting that work in, getting better and better and better, and honing them skills. You know, he already had, you know, the foundation with play with the keys and was DJing, you know, so we had that. But once we got that 1200 and that nigga loved that and started, you know, sampling and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, man, we ran through a couple of situations. We had a situation with a cat named George Murphy over at 8 Mile Road that didn't really pan out. And then we had another situation with West Coast record distributors. That was Lonzo Williams, Unknown DJ. Actually, that's where we was at first together.
Really?
It was Lonzo Williams, Unknown DJ, Egyptian Lover, and Rudy Party from the LA Dream Team.
Yeah.
They had West Coast record distributors. Yeah, they had, right. He had Lonzo had the World Class, Rudy had the Dream Team, Egyptian Lover was doing his thing, and Unknown DJ was in the cut. And they was making records independently doing their thing, but they came together, tried to establish a whole new distribution off the West Coast. And so they had a few artists there signed, and we was one of the artists that they signed, right? And when they told us basically what we needed, you know, I can remember the story. It was like that SB 1200. We hadn't got it just yet, but they signed us based on some other things we had done. And when we heard about, you know, the SP being the shit, you know, one of them cats, I don't remember which one it was, but they was like, you know, this right here, what you need. And I'm like, well, what's up with that? What we need? How much they cost? You need to get one. And the nigga was like, well, you know, that's about 2,500. And that wasn't no punk ass change back then, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that's what we need. Boom, you know, hollered at my mama and hollered at my niggas. And we got together and we bust that SP 1200 on that ass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, we put together, I think the first song, in my recollection, the first song we did was I had that nigga Quik sample, Gil Scott Heron, Dust.
Mm.
And, man, we did that. And shit, I wrote my lyrics to that motherfucker, homie. Came back up in West Coast record distributors that banged that shit for their ass, and I was kind of serving them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was back then, homie. I felt like, you know, I could let anybody have it at any given time with this rap shit. I was there now, you know? And so when we came back up in there, you know, I kind of like popped that motherfucker in, and we was proud of it, you know? And they was like, wow, this shit kind of hard, you know? But, you know, I guess based on the way things was and the politics of the game and the situation, and like I said, a nigga getting his serve on, we ended up not fucking with them. You know, something, I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like they wasn't breaking bread or they wasn't trying to put us in the studio to let us do what we wanted to do. And, you know, we young and hard-headed and talking long shit and, you know, going up there, and I guess we just wasn't the crowd they really, you know, the type of niggas they really wanted to fuck with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it's like we went off to, I think the George Murphy situation came after that. And then after the George Murphy 8 Mile Road situation turned into something else, we didn't work out there. Then we got with Suge. Then we got with Suge and DOC. They had started a label called Funky Enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when DOC actually had his accident. And, you know, that was the first thing they was doing. And I'm trying to think of the cat that was behind them. I can't think of his name right now. Caucasian cat, European. And it might come to me while we talk.
Not Kenner or
he was like
that.
The money behind. Nah, that ain't it. If you say it, I'll be like, that's his name.
Okay.
It might come to me while
That's
we
cool.
talk.
Yeah, no worries. Keep going.
Yeah, but and then you know, we was fucking with Suge, and, you know, going up there to see him, and this was before the Death Row thing.
Yeah, what was he like
and,
back then?
Oh man, he was a cool dude, homie. I didn't have no issues with Suge, man. You know, and he was, you know, straight up, straight out with us. It was around the time too. He was fucking with Young Chocolate, Mr. Chocolate, and they had did that.
Vanilla
That same thing when they had the issues, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was around that time, you know. But I've never had, once again, I never had those type of problems with cats, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was they was kind of moving slow over there, Funky Enough, as far as we was concerned, man.
Mm.
And in the meantime, that's when Quik had did a few things on the side with different motherfuckers, because we was like making a name for ourselves. Cats like Battle Cat was coming through, and
Mm-hmm.
Richie Rich, he was fucking with World Class, and a lot of different cats. The Eazy brothers had put us on some music, and, you know, we was just, you know, doing what we do, man, but everything was growing. You know what I'm saying? Second to None, I guess they was doing things with Quik, and High C would come through over there, and, you know, we was just growing it. You know what I'm saying? And we really didn't know what the fuck we had, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, and nobody to really guide it. And once again, Quik was the goose that laid the golden egg.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, when Greedy had hired Quik, if my recollection is correct, Greedy wanted Quik to fuck with somebody he was fucking with, one of his artists. It wasn't Outburst at the time. Trying to picture that label that Greedy, you could probably holler at him and he'll tell you. he had a little artist, and uh, I think Quik did some production on him, and that was the beginning of them working together. And so when the situation between us and Suge dissolved, you know, when they wasn't moving fast enough, but he had gave us a few dollars. So I made a move to get some bread, fucking with a couple of cats from the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came back and broke bread with Suge to buy our way out of the contract. And that's when Quik went a separate way, fucking with Greedy them. There was some issues,
Gotcha.
you know, and Quik went that way. And when I did my thing with Dre and Young Jason, and we started Alias Records and tried to push the line with Penthouse Players Click like that, do our own thing, Quik, he wanted to go, he didn't want to really fuck with us based on, I guess, you know, the way we was doing what we was doing. He didn't want to really be involved in that. And so he'd rather fuck with Greedy, because Greedy was over there doing this thing. And he had his label already established. I wish I could think of that nigga label at the time. But he also was, you know, already making moves in the industry. And I heard Greedy say that he really wanted to sign us all. But we couldn't get past, you know, certain misunderstandings, so to speak. You know, I kind of remember. I know how I was at the time, and I was probably on some shit like, man, I ain't trying to fuck with no nigga named Greedy.
Okay.
So
sound like some
probably
Jerry
other
Heller
things
shit
that was going on. Yeah, well, but Jerry, on me, my relationship with Jerry was cool too. It's just when you're dealing with certain people and you don't know certain things, you're ignorant to certain truths and certain facts. And, you know, you put yourself in a position where, you know, it's money involved and they don't know, or you don't know how much you really could get. And then you ask for something and they give it to you. I mean, you can't be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
I mean, I didn't have no real problems with Jerry until it was time to do that second Penthouse Players Click album. And they didn't want to give me all the money. You know, it was issues with Tweed, issues with Quik doing the production. And I don't know what they was all talking about. I just know I was there to pick up my bread to do that second album, you know, based on the contract. And they really wasn't trying to, you know, break bread the way they were supposed to. And they really wasn't trying to fuck with us, though. Because as far as they was concerned, if it wasn't no Tweed, and it wasn't no Quik, it wasn't no Click. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that ain't what they had originally signed, though, because when I originally signed the Ruthless on me, I signed the Penthouse Players Click by myself.
Huh.
Me and Dre and Jason had the most potent dope sack production, and we came to the deal at Ruthless, the three of us. And but as Penthouse Players Click, that was me. That was Playa Hamm. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I signed the deal. But, you know, it was involved with Quik doing production based on me and Eazy talking about it, and he wanted Quik in the production, and for whatever he was doing, as far as his Dre situation had influence on that as well, you know? And so I stepped to Quik even before I signed the Ruthless deal, because I was already signed to Wild West Records. Morris Taft Jr., I don't know if you remember him. He was a cat back in the day that had a situation that he had broke bread with me. And so I was rolling with Morris Taft.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Dre, my cat from the neighborhood, Andre Hughes, he came to me with the situation at Ruthless. And even though my Wild West situation is something looking back I probably should have stuck with, I didn't. And Eazy broke bread with Morris, and I stepped away from the Wild West situation and rolled with Ruthless. And like I said, I signed by myself. Broke bread with Morris, and I stepped away from the Wild West situation and roll with Ruthless. And like I said, I signed by myself, homie. But it was, you know, after talking to Quik and saying, if you want to if you want to spread your wings for Ruthless, homie, then I'll move over there and we'll do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't realize even then, like I done heard later on, like I said, you don't be knowing what's going on, but I didn't realize that the Quik man that tried to go to Ruthless Priority and get a deal when they didn't really want to fuck with him, you know?
Really?
They said they already had that Compton sound. Yeah, well, I've heard that story from Quik.
Huh.
And I didn't hear it to me directly. I heard him telling somebody else or some shit I read or something. But I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that at the time. And a lot of things I was naive to, homie. Just, we do what we do and we live and we learn and we grow, you know?
Yeah.
And the game was totally different back then, homie. So, shit happens the way it happens.
Yeah. Talk to me about Eazy-E. Being
Man,
signed to
Eazy
Ruthless.
was a cool dude, homie. Yeah, man, that was actually homie. I got no complaints. Once again, it's like, I told Eazy what I wanted, and Eazy said here,
Yeah.
And I didn't know I could have got more. I mean, I just figured, it's enough,
Yeah.
And then what kind of fucked the situation up though was once we had signed the Ruthless. I had signed the Ruthless and I got the deal. So then I went and got my nigga Tweed. I said, come on, nigga, I'm gonna put you on some music. And the mission was to do me a deal, got it, then do Tweed a deal, do a Playa Hamm solo deal, and then come back and do another motherfucking Penthouse Players Click thing. Kind of like the way your boy 50 did with the G-Unit thing, right?
Uh-huh.
But what happened was, I put Tweed all on the album cover the way I did, and he wasn't signed. So we did all that shit. We did all that music and made that record and filmed that video. And then Priority came back to the table and was like, we need to amend the contracts and put your boy Tweed on the contract. Because we ain't got him on no paperwork. We about to drop this out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we was like, well, that's just another contract y'all gonna have to work out with Tweed. But they was like, nah, because he already on project, right? And instead of us realizing we was in a greater position to bargain than we knew, we didn't have no management at the time. We didn't have no attorneys online, which was more mistaken shit, thinking we could do this shit, thinking we in the street. You know what I'm saying? And something else I didn't know. I didn't know that nigga Ice Cube had already been up in Priority tearing shit up. I didn't know nothing about that at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, when they dealing with us on a certain level and we talking to them a certain type of way, they like, hold up, what are we dealing with here? And so, even though that situation got worked out, right, and we amended the contracts through Priority and through Ruthless, and Tweed had to sign on as if he was already signed on, and they didn't get a nigga no money. You know what I'm saying? I paid him for doing music with me and made sure, I looked out for him. But like I say, the mission was to get him his own deal. Separate. And instead of us pushing the line in that direction, we accepted, that faulty little move, homie, not knowing, we could have did things different. And, we just, became some more of them cats who got, who got railroaded in that type of situation, But like I said, I got no worries. I mean, I got no complaints, homie. I'm blessed and grateful. I did my thing, and we still got action at making things happen. But nobody made me do anything. Priority didn't even make a nigga do that. Priority just convinced the nigga that was the best thing to do,
Yeah.
And instead of us going and getting attorneys and making sure, okay, look, because like I said, the paperwork was already done, homie. They came back after the fact with that little twist because they didn't have Tweed locked in on nothing, man. I guess, we didn't realize, if they wanted to really fuck with him, they really needed to break bread with him. And Tweed wanted that, but Priority didn't, they was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And they made us think that the record wasn't going to come out, and different shit. And it's like, well, if y'all put the record out, that's going to be another problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn.
So shit ended up going the way it was going, and then so Tweed was salty after that happened, right? And so we started having issues when we tried to get management and tried to work some things out, and they was going to put us on this tour, and they was going to break bread. You know, the situation kind of got out of hand because niggas was on phones and business negotiations. You know, he over there, I'm over here, his management over there, my management over here. And niggas is arguing about crumbs. You know what I'm saying?
But talk to me about Sugar Free.
Man, my nigga for life, homie. You know, he invited me to be a part of that project. He had told Quik when they was working on it, man, I need Playa Hamm, man. And, you know, and that's how I met him, through Quik. And was impressed with him from day one, you know. Smooth cat, man. Nothing but love and honor and respect, you know?
Yeah. You were on If You Stay Ready. Classic song.
Right. I'm on that one. Yeah, man. That's like, you know, one of the biggest records. Actually, it is the biggest record I ever been on, man. Got a nigga a lot of love, man.
You Can Never Be Me.
So that record started off. I mean, you know, we did a couple other things with a couple more cats. He took me out of town a couple of times to get some money. And, man, like I say, nothing but respect for my nigga Free, man. You know, my nigga Pomona Pimpin' John, met him through Free, and a couple other cats. And, shit, man, my nigga Bubba Brown, rest in peace. Shit, I mean, a lot of beauty, man, a lot of love, man.
Yeah.
You can see my nigga, he got my son on a couple of projects with me, on some things with them. And, you know, we gonna probably make some more music. We just ain't got around to it, you know, because I still push my pen, homie. I'm still with it. I just haven't been, you know, putting nothing out, really getting out there like I really would like to. But the opportunities are presenting themselves, you know?
Yeah. Shit, keep doing stuff like this. So. Keep doing stuff like this, and I would say even start a podcast or a YouTube channel yourself, and just get out there.
Yeah, that's what my people been telling me I should do, man. So
I know you have a lot of stories.
Yeah, I got a lot to share, man. I just got to remember it, man. You know, it's not always easy to recollect.
Yeah. Talk to me about, because Quik released a song called Just Like Compton. For everybody out there, it's basically a song where he's talking about going to different areas, different cities across the country, and realizing that it's just like Compton, San Antonio, Denver, you know, places like that, St. Louis. And that leads me to my next question. I know I kind of asked you this earlier with the MC8 thing, but did you ever experience any issues, because they are affiliated with Bloods, you know what I mean? Did you ever experience any issues being on the road and performing in certain areas?
Man, I've never had none of those problems. I didn't get on the road a lot. We did a tour in '92 when he dropped that album, and we was out there for a minute together, and we had the Penthouse album. Second of None had their shit out. Well, no, they were still riding the wave of their first album, actually, because it took a minute for them to do their second. And I think AMG had some things going, but we tried to get out there on the tour, man, and I didn't have no issues. Like I said, all them things them niggas ran into, or whatever problems they had, homie, I didn't have them problems, man. We was out there in a couple of big venues that I remember, and like I said, a lot of that shit kind of foggy because of other things I was dealing with. But for the most part, homie, man, I never had those issues, man. Everywhere I went, it was nothing but love, man. And, you know, fucked with Scarface out there, met him, and chopped it up with him. And, you know, when we see each other now, it's all love. You know, I never had those problems, man.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you carried yourself that way. So your verses were always like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was like Player talking about getting bitches, like just having a good time. So that's
yeah, just, you know, just enjoying and keeping it, you know, respectful to the extent that, you know, I could. I mean, I never made it to the East Coast. You know, I talked a lot of shit about some of them cats probably that, you know, but I was just trying to really give them the respect and the admiration, man. You know, I hate to hate. I don't hate the haters. So I was just, you know, rap was a competition sport back then. And when I got in the game, You know, it was transitioning basically from rapping at rappers to rapping to your audience, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's why that Penthouse album is kind of like the way it is, where it has that, you know, them songs, some of them songs we had for a minute, and some of the songs that didn't make the album that was more like what Cats was doing right then, you know, for some strange reason, Quik didn't want to produce them records. You know, that's another story. But, you know, the bottom line is, you know, we had a wonderful opportunity to get out there and make some real shit happen, man, and become a part of the history, man, and I'm grateful for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Someone who left us way too soon, and probably if he were alive today would go down as one of the greatest MCs on the West Coast. Talk to me about Mausberg. Rest in peace.
Man, Mausberg, homie, a good cat, man, a great heart, homie. Yeah, you said it absolutely, man. He just was in the wrong places at the wrong times, and he was pushing the lines. He was pushing, and he wasn't no little dude, so he was very intimidating. And you know, in all honesty, man, he should not have even had to go out like that, homie.
Yeah.
He should have been better taken care of, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
Yeah. MC wise, what was it like being around him?
Oh man, very inspirational and motivational, man. I mean, you know, his style, his persona, you know. I mean, man, on some, you know, shit. I mean, some Biggie mixed with Pac shit. You know what I'm saying? With great potential, homie. His potential wasn't even near about reach, homie. And you know, his situation over there with Tony Lane at Laneway and there's some other people, some real ones, man. I got nothing but respect for, man. Tony Lane and Stan Shepard, man, because that Sugar Free situation, they looked out for me on that, you know, as well. But yeah, man, Mausberg, homie, he has so much room to be something, you know, really, really powerful, man. It's a trip, man.
Yeah. Well, shit, I want one more question, and then I want to give you a chance to promote anything you have coming up and your son's click and everything like that. But one more question, kind of tailgating off of the Mausberg thing. What are your thoughts? Excuse me. What are your thoughts on the whole Nipsey Hussle killing that is about to be?
Wow, homie. Listen, you know, when I was a fledgling rapper, right? Even though I think we already had the project out. One of the original Watch Prophets, Father MD. He got a birthday coming up too. Happy birthday, Father MD. I'm gonna try to make that party. He told me, man. He said, Playa Hamm, because I had probably spit some verses or something, spit some shit to him, and he was like, He was like, look. Some people out here, when they rapping, they can't rap about things, they can't talk about things they don't want to come true. You can't be rapping about things that you don't want to happen. That's what Father MD told me, homie, early in my career, bro.
Okay.
And I took heed to that. You know what I'm saying? We as poets, homie, sometime, and as creators, homie, we can nurture a reality into existence, homie, that don't have to be, you know? And as much powerful movement Nip was creating, you know, he still rapped about a lot of dark things. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he was. That's what he was on. That was it. You know, so the saddest part about the situation is, you know, I wasn't around him enough to know. I met him a couple of times, but you know, I don't know if anybody told him. Damn. You know what I'm saying? That look, bro, you know, you are what is it? A prophet, or you know, you prophesy, homie. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us do that, homie. We can rap about things and then they come true. You know, sometimes people call it fake it till you make it, but nah, this ain't the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, a cat like Nip, man, who, you know, I didn't even want to believe it, homie.
Yeah,
with all
same.
the things, you know, all the ways he was moving and all the circles he was beginning to, you know, penetrate, and all the cats that was, you know, observing him, and you know, all these, you know, he was about to be one of them niggas, man. He was one of them niggas, man.
Mm-hmm.
And to get, you know, to go, once again, it's so sad, homie.
Mm-hmm.
But it just lets you know, man. You know, it just lets you know. It's like, man, I'm blessed. I'm 55, homie.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
you know, I done seen a few things, and I done took, you know, I done missed a lot of, you know, fucked up destinies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I got, you know, I got too much to be thankful for now, man. You know, I got 7 kids, 4 sons, 3 daughters, and 1 grandson, 1 granddaughter, and everybody know each other, and I done had them all in the house, you know, growing up together at one time or another, and, you know, and I got, you know, I got a lot to be thankful for, homie. You know, even though they ain't all got the same mamas and shit, you know, that's one thing I think I did okay. Is, you know, as far as my kids is concerned, homie, I kind of did that right, you know?
Yeah. That's dope, man.
I might didn't treat their mamas like I should have treated them, but I damn sure made sure my kids were straight, you know?